Welcome to the WINONA rework. I don't care about Wirt, and Crab King still sucks. Starting off, we have Hot Light, which is a pretty useless skill, along with Spacious Spotlight, which is also pretty dumb, Portability, which is self-explanatory, Quick Charge, and Energy Saver, which I think is probably the best skill so far, and Portability, because of course you get access to the little remote too. Upon unlocking 3 skills, you get access to the next branch, with Precise Targeting and Barrage, which are both controls for the remote to make your catapults a little bit stronger, and the Generator Power Saver, which I think is fantastic. Generators holding charge was always a problem as old Winona, and with Energy Saver and these two. Anyway, next you have Rapid Fire 1, 2, and 3, which is pretty self-explanatory. Explosive Volley 1, 2, and 3, which give your catapults more splash damage, which is amazing on certain bosses. You could pretty much just stun lock them, honestly. Upon unlocking at least 6, you get access to both affinities. It's important to notice you do not have to beat Field Weaver or Champion in order to unlock these things. And I personally think the Wagstaff one's better anyway. Because on the far left you get Shadow Seeker 2, which I'm pretty sure just means the Queen won't attack you. If only Winona had a building to protect her from the darkness. Shadow Seeker 1 is actually pretty useful, as you can get Nightmare Fuel. Nightmare Generator, you can only use this with normal generators, but you can put Nightmare Fuel, and then you can put pure horror into generators, which seems pretty useless. And I'm not really sure how to use the Shadow Strike yet. I don't know if that's broken. Same with the Enlightened Strike. I'm not really sure about how to do that. The Brilliant Generator is pretty much just using the shards, or the pure brilliance, in the generators, and the other one is putting Enlightened Shards in there. Which, why would you do that? I will explain what Founders Keeper 1 and 2 do later. But it's pretty hard to explain, but I do think it's the better infinity, as you get access to the lovely teleporters from Hamlet. Anyway, I'm just going to max out everything. But I'm going to showcase catapult attack stuff later in the video. Anyways, right off the bat, you can see the catapults do look a little bit different. I'm pretty sure they have a new sprite. And you can now pick them up and carry them around. Important to note, they do not stack, which is kind of annoying, but it looks like Chester is just going to be the instant base guy, I guess. I do put down a few spotlights, even though they're quite useless in base game, I'm going to be honest. But yeah. I think generators are the clear option. And effective power sources, especially after rushing the ruins. But I'm going to use them to test for the purposes of this video. Also showcase the generator normal stuff, but normal generators kind of suck. You do now have to manually arm your catapults for them to attack, and they will like de-arm after a while of not attacking anything. So that is quite annoying, but they're still really good in combat. Especially with the new handy remote. This is just the Wrangler from TF2. This allows you to arm all your cannons in a giant radius and also target them. So look, you can just mash the target button and look how fast this one catapult is shooting. Like, what? I really hope they do balance this, because that seems insane. I'm not really sure how rapid fire works. I don't think this is necessarily rapid fire. Still looks normal. I didn't even upgrade any of the attack speed, so maybe it's just a slight bit faster. But it just doesn't look rapid fire. I don't know how that one works. You can also dismantle generators, and they will completely keep their charge. I'm pretty sure this works with normal generators as well, obviously, but yeah, that's pretty neat. I don't know how that would necessarily be useful, but I think you can pick them up to conserve energy, even though there's a skill that already does that. I thought maybe plugging in Enlightened Shards would allow me to do the Planar Strike. But, I guess not. I don't know. I can't get that one to work. Because look, I go Planar Strike and it's like, I'm out of range, but it's not out of range, right? It must be in range of something specific, but I couldn't figure out whatever it was trying to tell me. But yeah, you can use Enlightened Shards now. I don't think that's ever a useful thing to do. Just use gems, especially if you rush the ruins. And I think Winona has a potential to shred through Field Weaver to replenish the ruins, and also just load up a bunch of catapults down there to shred any of the guys. Like, I think she could run the ruins down there. Anyway, the complete opposite of the ruins, the moon, also has some new lunar crafts. I think The Winbot also comes from this lunar cache, which just works an ordinary robot. Look, I put the grass in the chest, and I grab another Wobot, and I put him on the ground, and I grab a grass, and if I drop it on the ground, he will put it into the chest for me, which is pretty nice, but I prefer to keep all my stuff dumped on the ground. Strangely, I don't think it actually takes power. Anyway, the cache boxes is what was making those pulses, and those are only with the inspectacles. As you can see, we received this unstable transmission, as well as a bunch of materials. Scary generator. Speaking of farming agent Fuel Weaver. Anyways, yeah, the little cache boxes will always be matched or marked by this weird pulse coming from them. And yeah, they're supposed to play a minigame that looks like this. It's an Among Us task, pretty much. You gotta like match the things up. But yeah, this little Metaton looking remote control you get is how you learn how to make the teleport stuff. You have to scan the transmissions. It will tell you how to create them sometimes. I think you have to like do it a bunch. This still is just the beta, but yeah. The Teleportasol, which actually looks pretty expensive, but you only need one as you can recharge all its durability. And also the Teleport Pad. I thought at first you needed to power this with only enlightened shards, but you can use any power source as long as it's near a generator. So yeah, especially with the conserve energy and like the power saver mode, I can see the teleports being really easy to, like once you get it down, you can just use it. And they have pretty decent range. Here I am quite a bit away from base, not like crazy far, but it still works from all the way over here. It does have a range, but I have not found that range. I feel like you could have quite a lot of these. Anyway, it's important to mention you could drop the remote near generators and the umbrella too, and they will recharge over time. Pretty useful skill, I guess. Doesn't seem like that big a deal to replace these items, but it's handy. You could have two Portasols or two little remotes and leave them both on the ground. And yeah, they'll recharge over time. You can just switch out whenever you need one. Another quirk of the Teleport Pad is the fact you can link multiple together. Simply standing on one, one that you've already teleported to, or just pretty much just spamming your Portasol will teleport you between them, which I can see this being very useful, especially like, okay, well maybe not like super duper useful, but if your main teleporter is slightly out of the way, you could just make a chain of teleporters across the world to get to wherever you need to go. So yeah, I think the lunar side is definitely better than the shadow side. There's one item I couldn't figure out how to get. Apparently somebody in a Discord server told me, where if you examine a rose or a flower, it'll give you like a tainted shattered flower or something, and it will give you one free revive pretty much, which could be pretty good, but like just don't die, you freaking noob. And I don't know how to get that anyway, so yeah, maybe it requires Shadow Seeker too, I'm not too sure. Anyway, here's me testing Winona's new offensive capabilities by maxing out her range and rapid fire on her little remotes, and getting all of the remote skills that will deal damage, and also Cryptic Founder stuff, because Cryptic Founder is awesome. Here's my little setup. It's pretty basic, all things considered. This is a thing you'd use to fight B-Queen in the past, and I did have God mode on for the first phase of this fight. This is one person, and like, not even like maxed out, well okay, maxed out skills, but like, I still don't even know how to use planar strikes and stuff. This setup would have taken maybe a day or two for old Winona, but for new Winona, this fight took 2 minutes. I might not even cut anything out. I made a video like on release day, so yesterday, about this. People were complaining they couldn't see with skills I used. Sorry about that, but I did put it in the beginning. I used like rapid fire, explosive volley. Also, I showed off all the skills at the beginning. So yeah, if you mash the target button, hold on, once I get it in the right spot, you can just watch her health drop. It's insanity. Like, look at this damage. This is so much. Not even all the catapults are attacking. And I could probably pack them more compact together. I could... You see this being crazy. You could surround New Crab King with a bunch of boats and generators and just kill him. Like, look at that. That's like a minute 30 fight. And then you can just pack up and go fight another raid boss with all the catapults. What? I don't know how to turn them off.